Hi, guys. This month we're working on the energy that we bring into romantic relationships. And this series is appropriate for both men and women, even though in a romantic relationship, I believe that the male role versus the female role are really different. For the purposes of what we're working on this month, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. All of us have wounding to our romantic energy fields, and that's what we're working on. Today, that's what we've been working on for the past couple of days. I have a whole playlist about this, so go check it out. I recommend watching from the beginning. But in the past 2 days, we've worked on worthlessness and on abandonment. And today we are working on hopelessness. Now, I have an entire hopelessness session at allygizetteClasses.com, and this is going to be a mini one, but I strongly recommend checking out Healing Hopelessness at my website because it's going to take that healing to a whole new level. Even if you've already done that session, do it again on behalf of your own romance energy field and see for yourself that it's going to be a whole different session. Even if you've watched it 10 times before, you're going to set a new intention and have a totally different outcome. The outcome is going to be healing, but it's going to be healing in a different way than before, and that is very exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and tune in and see what's going on when it comes to our hopelessness that is lodged in our romantic energy field. And it feels really sad. That's the first thing coming up. It feels desperately sad. And I'm seeing this hopelessness that shows up in like the teen years, like with puberty, with getting interested in people of the opposite sex, and then feeling hopeless about it. And this is not going to apply to everybody. I'm also seeing people who have like pride instead of hopelessness. And that's fine. Well, I'm wondering if we can kind of neutralize both sides of that coin, actually. We're going to imagine a tube of light shining down to our hearts and to that energy field, our romance energy field. And it's going to neutralize any pride and try and neutralize any hopelessness. And we're going to acknowledge whatever needs to be acknowledged about that at this time. For you personally, you might have memories come into your mind or thoughts or something like that. Run with them, right? Write them down, think about them, breathe them out, choose a new pattern. Okay, we get to choose a new pattern. Let's tap. I now release my old patterns of romantic hopelessness. Whew. I now release old patterns of romantic hopelessness. Let's breathe it out. Releasing that. We're going to invite God's divine blueprint on how to have a romantic energy field that is free from hopelessness. We don't need hopelessness in there anymore. We're downloading in a blueprint of God's divine hope and God's divine peace and confidence in romance, in the romantic process, as far as what it means to find someone and connect with someone and feel like you get each other. We're downloading the blueprint for that right now. And breathe it in. And when I'm asking, like, is it there? I'm like leaning forward, like, yes, it is there. That's really good news. That's good. That's good. Okay, we're going to shine in some light from our creator into the parts that were previously hopeless. And we're going to imagine angels vacuuming out all hopelessness energy and taking it out to be recycled. We don't need that anymore. It's okay to feel hope. It's okay to feel peace. I talk about this in the hopelessness session. I have lived in extreme hopelessness for many years because my older brother was severely disabled, and it was really hard. And I got married when I was 20, but I was still I was very monogamously minded from the time I basically hit puberty. And I remember feeling very hopeless because I wished that I was married as like a older teenager, even though I was like 18, but I was just like, oh, I just wish that I had the one. Um, those feelings of hopelessness can be really big, and it can feel scary to let go of them because living in hope is sometimes harder than living in hopelessness. When you have no hope, then you can just kind of like you're off the roller coaster, right? It's hard to have hope and then have your hopes destroyed over and over again. And I think sometimes in romantic situations, having a lot of hope that is like an unhealthy hope can end up feeling like a roller coaster, or especially in women, well, in men, I guess, it can make you fall in love with people and then like have your hearts broken. Like you fell in love with them when you saw them in line at Starbucks and then like they didn't ask you out and your heart's broken. We get on these roller coasters of hope. We're going to download our creator's definition of the kind of hope we should have. This is not hope in specific individuals. This is hope in our creator. Okay, so let's tap that in. I know how to have hope in my creator alone and not in individuals. Breathe it in. I'm going to be clear about this. This is what I'm talking about. It transcends romance, really. It does. Because I know a lot of parents who hope that their children will change. I know a lot of children who hope their parents will change. I know a lot of spouses who hope their spouse will change. I know a lot of single people that wish that these other single people would change and be in love with them. That's not appropriate hope. That's inappropriate hope. The only hope that is appropriate is hope that God is going to take care of it. That is the real thing that we hope for. We let go of our internal, well, how do we put it? When we hope that someone else is going to change and be the way that we think that they should be, what that really is control. That is not hope. That's like narcissistic control tendencies that we're energetically wrapping around other people that we say that we care about. The real hope needs to be in God, and we need to release the people that we love from our own energetic vines that we're entangling around them. We're trying to control them, trying to change them. Even if we consciously aren't trying to change them, we're just saying, oh, I just wish that they would. I just wish they would do this. I just wish they would do that. When we get in those thought concepts, in those thought processes, it's just toxic. It's just toxic. We release our sense of hopelessness because we put our hope in God, who we can actually trust. No matter what humans are up to, we can actually trust that God will sort it out over time. Even if our children disappoint us, even if our spouses, our parents, our loved ones, our friends, our coworkers, our employees, no matter who is disappointing us, no matter how much we wish things would change, when we take a step back and release them from our energy field saying, why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way? Even if it's just mental, even if it's just emotional. And we instead focus on healing ourselves and connecting with God. And we just trust that God's gonna figure it out. So we have our kid that we wish that they shared our faith and they don't anymore, and we're so distraught. Can we let go? Can we process our feelings of disappointment and focus on healing ourselves and focus on our connection with God and just trust that God's got it under control? We have nothing to worry about. We cannot control other people. When we try, it destroys everything. Our job is to release our desires to control other people and just connect with God. That's it. Can we just put so much trust in God that God is going to fix everything at some point? God will lead everyone where they need to be exactly when they need to be there. And our job is just to show up and live our life and listen to that still small voice of the Holy Spirit every day. Can we just trust that we get to take a step forward and listen to God and our own intuition? And that's all we have to do. We don't have to sit there and fixate and obsess and worry about all of the people that we wish just were as good as we are. Can they just be more like me? Can they just be more the way that I think they should be? No, we let go of that. We trust in God. That is what we have to do. I feel like I'm rambling at you, so I'm going to wrap this up. But I think I've probably given you some things to think about. We're releasing our hopelessness today, all the hopelessness in our romantic energy fields, and we're replacing it with hope, not in our spouse or romantic partner or the person that will someday become our romantic partner. We're putting our hope in our Creator. Our Creator does not want us to be alone. In the Holy Bible, what is like the first thing God tells Adam? It is not good for man to be alone. Humans aren't supposed to be alone. We are supposed to eventually find a romantic partnership. And that's going to look different for every person. And we're all on different timelines and we all have different life missions. But if that's something that you desire, I believe God desires that for you as well. And so our job is to connect with our Creator and focus on ourselves, release control, release the fake hope that we've had in other people changing, and turn it into real hope that our Creator has it all figured out and that things are going to be fine. Okay. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to do some more little work tomorrow. Check out Healing Hopelessness at allygisetteClasses.com, and I'll see you tomorrow.